Hey lovies, welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by to see what I have going on today. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back to hang out with me. I am at the park today with my family, celebrating a couple birthdays, but I just want to jump on and say hello, let you guys know this is a Christmas in July video. If you have not already guessed it, I figured I'd jump on the bandwagon and be bandwagon. So I have 5 DIYs for you guys. I hope you enjoy them, but before we jump on over, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing, and commenting. Just know that those comments are only desired and not required. And without further ado, I will stop yabbing on, as I often do, and we'll just go ahead and jump into that video. See you guys on the other side, lovies. Alright lovies, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this very first project. It is a faux planter. I will be using the majority of Dollar Tree items with the exception of this backboard right here, as well as the other shaped plank there. I'm not sure what that cutout is called, but I did get that from Michael's, and I got the backboard one from Daiso. So all I'm going to do is, to get started on the project, is I am going to go in and I'm going to use the color Burnt Umber. I believe it's by Apple Barrel, and I'm just going to stain the wood using that color. And I didn't use diaper wipes here. I just used a wet napkin. You can definitely use diaper wipes to accomplish this, and I just wanted a really dark stain here, and the stain that I had on hand just wasn't the color I was going after this particular time, so I just decided to use that instead. So I'm also going to be using the color Celery by Waverly. It's a very light green color, very neutral, and so with this item, with this DIY, it is a DIY you can actually use beginning in fall and just kind of transition it into Christmas. I am going to put Joy to the World on it. That's really the only thing that'll make it really stand out as Christmas, but nonetheless you can always omit that if you choose to recreate this and just have it as an everyday decor piece during fall and winter. And so here I just went in with the color Light Avocado, and I really love the way this came out. I was trying to go for different layers of greens here, and just off camera I had originally did like some really weird greens, y'all, and it just did not work. So I came back, regrouped and I just ultimately decided to go with these colors here. And so that's the color Olive, that darker green. And so once I get everything, I just basically assembled the little planks in front of the larger backboard and attached that other sign to one of the longer thin wooden sticks from Dollar Tree and attached it. So basically I used some Gorilla Glue as well as some hot glue, for that quick adhesion, but for the long term I use the Gorilla Glue. It looks like I know what I was doing there. I was setting it up to see how it would look. Because of the wood sticks at the bottom, it was able to hold in place, while I just did a test run to see what it would look like if I wanted to add this part to it, because I was considering not doing that. I thought I had taped it out of order, but nonetheless that's what I was doing there. And then of course I put the stick on backwards, so I had to distress the front part of that, and you really won't even see that much of that stick, but I still just wanted to be cohesive. I didn't paint the back of them, of course. That's just, how I roll, y'all. And I just want to say I'm at the park right now, so if you guys hear some yelling or screaming, my family is playing bingo. I did kind of walk a little bit away from them, but you may still hear them because we're just a loud bunch of people. So as I was saying, what I'm doing here is just adhering it together using some Gorilla Glue and hot glue, and already it was really coming together. I really like the color contrast here, and I did go in and do some distressing, as you can tell, just kind of alternated, the green, and I did, I want to say I did not plaster, it was parchment and the celery green on the brown, and then I did the burnt umber on the green items. And so it really came to really nice, and I'm going to be using these little planks right here as the holder for the flowers. And I am using, these are some flower picks I got from Dollar Tree, y'all. And their selection, I don't know if you guys are seeing them yet, but oh my gosh, I was so impressed with their flower selections this year. And these colors were just beautiful. So they are really setting, you know, the foundation of what I'm going to be doing for the holidays. So and I just figured this would tie in really nice with this particular piece. And as always, I am going to show you guys at the end, but just right here already, I hope you guys get a sense of what it looks like. I just really felt good about this. It didn't require a lot. I did go in and add some crosses off camera, and you will see that in the final showing. So next, we're going to go ahead and do a shadow box. And this is it's like a jewelry box, or if you put a humidor. But I got that from Daiso. It was only $1.50. So back when they were $1.50, now they're $1.75. And I got these are actually ring holders. So they had a jewelry kit that you could put together, and you know, you could assemble. And I thought these would make really cute Christmas trees, you know, the cone style Christmas trees. So I got 3 of them. Well, actually 2 came in a pack, and then the larger one was just a single. And so I thought it would be really cool to take to do a little decoupage with these gorgeous napkins that had a robin on them. And I was like, oh, this would be so beautiful to create a shadow box out of. So it's really small. It's probably about 6 inches across, maybe about 4.5, 5 inches tall. So it's really small, but it's something cute, like maybe you could put on your mantle or something like that, maybe your entryway or in your hallway or something like that, because it doesn't take up a lot of space. Or even if you're, you know, working in the office right now, it's something you can sit on your desk. It would be really cute there. And so here I just alternated in colors. I did like a really dark red. I think it was like berry wine. I did the color, I forget the color, but it's a color by Happy Hobby. But I just did 3 neutral colors basically, because I can't remember all of them. And then I just wiped down. It has a plastic face to it, and I just wiped that down with some alcohol. And I did a little distressing. I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth, guys. I did a little distressing on the Christmas trees. And once I painted the inside with that celery color, I wanted to make the outside pop a little bit. So I did go in with some white paint by Folk Art. And once I did that, I don't know what's going on here, guys. I flip-flopped. I don't know. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to go ahead and start the decoupage with the napkin here. And I'm giving it a good dose of that Mod Podge just so I make sure to stick. But this paper was super thin, but it did go on nicely, and it did keep the wrinkles, which is what I always try to achieve with my decoupage. Sorry about I think that's a helicopter. But nonetheless, I just went in, got that all down, and I don't know if you guys can really see. I hope it shows a lot closer than what it's showing here. And then what I put on here is Joy to the World. So I really was thinking about, you know, the scene in Bethlehem. So I don't know why. That's just what came to me, and that's why I chose to do that one. I'm sorry, I did Oh Holy Night, except part, guys. I'm just all over the place. So it was Oh Holy Night, and I did Joy to the World on the first one. I'm getting distracted. That's what it is, guys. Just ignore me. Just watch the video and see what I do. Just ignore me. It's okay. So once I get that down, I'm doing my distressing with that burnt umber. And I had not used burnt umber before, but I saw a lot of content creators using it. And I was like, when I went to Walmart, they didn't have it. So I think that was one of the reasons I probably never used it, but I found it and I was super excited. And I see why you guys use it. It's a very nice color. I wish I had gotten a larger bottle of it, or at least some more. I only picked up 2, but hopefully when I go back they'll have more. But just right there you guys can see, so I put the lights in, the fairy lights I did get from Dollar Tree, and it was already looking super cute. I used some I just cut off a little bit 2 leaves from a pick that I got at Michael's, and I decided to frost the plastic on there, and it came out a little gray. Like it didn't lighten up. I thought it would maybe lighten up once it dried, but it actually stayed pretty dark. So I don't know if I'll remove that plastic from it, but you guys can let me know at the end what you think, if it adds to it or if it takes away from it, because I felt like you really couldn't see the scenery behind there. And also what I did too is I felt like it needed some more stuff, so I did decide to do the distressing on the outside as well, just to tone down that white a little bit because it was just a little too bright for what I was trying to go after. And here I decided to add in some cotton balls to create that snow effect. And I didn't want to overwhelm it because the little trees were so miniature. I wanted them just to kind of blend in. So I really like the way this came out. The only downfall here is I got confused and I pulled the fairy lights over the top of the box opposed to under the bottom. But nonetheless, it still worked out. I just painted over it and you can't even tell it's there. It just looks like part of the distressing. So here I wanted to do a different style of bow. So I decided to use some of that nautical rope, and I just tied it off. Like I just basically wrapped it around, tied it off, and created a bow with it. I used some tape to just kind of hold down the ends, and I really liked the way it came out. It was super, super darling. And I just used some of the butcher's twine. It's the two-color or dual colored butcher's twine. And I just love this, guys. Like, it was so stinking adorable. Like, I just really, really, really love this. It's super lightweight. I glued on the battery pack to the back. You won't be able to see that, and it just came out way better than what I thought. And so next step, oh my god, you guys, this is like, I was so excited. I was just excited that I pulled this off, okay, because I don't know where I got this thought from. I don't know what made me think of this, but with these bamboo rings that I got from Dollar Tree, I decided that I wanted to make a snowman out of them. And so, yep, that's what I'm gonna do today, guys. I'm gonna make a snowman. You asked how? Just sit back and watch. So, of course, I need the top hat, and I couldn't find nothing that was quite the size I wanted. So what I did was took an old roll of my from some yarn I had, or ribbon I had, and it was like the perfect size. And so then what I did, just to top it off, I used one of the wooden rings. Now you can find these wooden rings at Dollar Tree right now, but I did order mine off of Amazon, and one of those 1.5 inch little wooden medallions. And I just put that all together, and I used a larger wooden medallion in the middle of the bottom part of the hat just to give it a little bit of lift because it just looked so flat, and I really didn't know how it would hold up once the moisture from the paint sunk in. So that came out beautiful. I think it came out super cute. And so here I'm just going to go ahead and adhere the two bamboo rings together. I did paint them in white, of course, because it's a snowman. And so I'm just going to hot glue them. And of course I did go in with a little bit of Gorilla Glue, and just for added security, because I'm not having really anything there to support it, I did go in and tie it off with a zip tie, both in the middle and also at the bottom for the base. And that's just to add that stability. And I was still a little nervous about it, y'all. So because snowmen, you guys know. So because they have the 3 buttons, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pull that off. So of course I decided, why not use Fisher's twine? Or is that what it's called, Fisher's twine? I think that's what it's called, right? Anyway, the little clear stuff. So I wanted something that would be almost invisible. I know you'll probably still see it, but it won't be as visible when you start focusing on the buttons. That's my thought here. So that's what I do. I get that in there, and I did have to use a lot of hot glue here, you guys. So I did try to melt it down so it wouldn't be so visible, and I think I did okay with that. Now, what I'm doing here while that's setting, because I really want to give it time to hold up a little bit, so I can really put the hat on there, because the hat had a little bit of weight to it, but nonetheless, I just set that to the side, and I'm using some other ribbon that I had. It was like a suede ribbon with some gold beads on it, but I didn't use the side with the golds. Clearly, I turned it inside out, and I put the glue around, and those beads actually helped it stay in place between the little crevice between the wood plank and the 2 paper circles there. So it really came out cute. I was super pleased with that, because I didn't think it would look right with the little wood ring on top, but it actually blended really, really nice. And so like I said, here I am. Once it gets set a little bit, I go ahead and put it on the plank, and then I'm going to zip tie it in. And so that's all I'm doing here. I did go with the red and white just for Christmas. And it was so funny after I did this, because I did a red and white plank for some patriotic decor I did. I was like, hello, you know, you could have just reused that one. But my brain, y'all, I'm telling y'all, it does what it wants to do when it wants to do it. So anyway, so once I get that on there, like I said, I go in, I add the hot glue, I flip it over, I put some more glue under there, because I just want this bad puppy to stay in place. And it held up, it's holding up really good too, guys, just so you know. It's been up for a couple days now, and I even banged it a couple of times. It didn't fall apart. I really thought it might. But it didn't. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to use some of these are super tiny wood rings, and I want to say I got these from Dollar Tree. I think these were in the pack from Dollar Tree, but I could be wrong. But anyway, they're like super tiny, like they're smaller than the size of a dime. If not, they might be the same size as a dime. And I'm just taking some of the half beads and gluing them on there, because at first I was going to leave just the wood circles by themselves, but when I held them up to the wire, you really couldn't see them, and you could really see the fisher's twine, and I didn't want that. So I wanted to take as much attention away from that twine as I could. And so I just put the half beads on there, left them in their natural color, and literally that was it for those. So I let them sit because I didn't want to handle it too much and because they were super tiny, and I have chubby fingers. So now I'm just going to add some embellishments to the hat. I'm going in with some black and white stitch ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was like 50% off. I think it was like $3.99 or $2.99. It might have been $1.99 actually. I think it was $1.99. I got it for 50% off. And so that just added a little something to it. And I'm going to go ahead and put a flower, because at least Frosty, he has a flower in his hat. So, you know, that's what I was going for, Frosty. And so that's all I'm doing here. I add that in, let that sit, and then I'm going to start assembling everything together. Sorry I was out of shot, but there you go. And I decided to put a little berry on there, and it just came out super cute. So once I got my beads set, or the wood ring and beads set for the buttons, I just go in and I attach them. And so there they go. They're already there. Look, it's coming together, y'all. I was so excited. Oh my God. So then for his scarf, I got some ribbon. This is ribbon from the Dollar Tree. It's like an orange. I thought it was red, but it's actually like an orange color. So, but nonetheless, it goes in together. It ties in together because, you know, with Frosty, his stuff doesn't match. So I thought this would still be very cute, you know. And it really looked cute. And then I thought it was funny because I had my fan on and it's like blowing in the wind. But nonetheless, like, it just really started coming together, and the hat stayed on. Like, I was so excited, y'all. I was like really excited. But I know I needed to cover up some of that glue and stuff at the bottom, because again, it was excessive. I had to use a lot. So I did go with some of the cotton balls and some flower picks that I had, actually from a vase of flowers that I had got from Michael's way after the after Christmas for like 90% off, and the whole jar was like $2. So I just picked that apart and used that as the filler for the bottom. And to put his nose on, I hot glued it, as you see there, and I just, you know, I pointed it towards the ring, and you'll see right here, and I glued it to the fisher's twine. So hopefully you guys will get a good shot here. If not, you will see it at the end. I only wish I had done something like to create the eyes, but I just couldn't figure out how to do that without the twine being so visible. So that was literally it for that one, and I was so excited. I'm like, I think this might be my favorite just because I pulled it off. But today, you guys, I think all of these were my favorite. Now, I never just have like all of them be my favorites because I'm weird like that. Even though I love every project that I do, you know, I just, you know, always have one favorite that sticks out. But I think all of them today were just super fun to do, and I think I just love each and every one of them. And so here I have these little twigs, of course, because that's what people do. People just have twigs, right? So I needed to do his arms. So I just took some of these twigs that I had, and I just cut them up, you know, cut them down to size where they looked appropriate, made his little hands, and then I just tied that off with some of the craft twine that I had got from Daiso. And oh my God, you guys, it looked so much like a snowman. I was kind of thinking it initially too that maybe I needed like another round because they have 3 layers, and I was like, no, this is perfect. This actually came together very, very nice, guys. I was so excited. Y'all don't even know how excited I was. So yeah, and that's what I'm doing here. So I just was trying to get the size together, make sure it was, all right and everything. And they actually adhered very well. And like I said, I even banged this a couple of times and nothing fell off. So I was really, really surprised and happy about that. But in here with the twigs, all I did was I just used hot glue on that. But look at it. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So here it is. Yeah, oh, I did slow it down for you guys. Awesome. Look, and then I put a little snowflake on his scarf. I mean, this was just everything Christmas to me. Like, this right here literally took me back to my childhood. And next up, I got this plate from Hobby Lobby on clearance. It was originally $9.99. I got it for 99 cents. So I was like, yes, I'm available. So what had happened was so what happened was it had a chip on it right at the bottom off at an angle, and I was like, oh, this is so easy to cover up and fix. So I definitely had to grab it. I love the deers on it. It was a mother and son, a baby and what is it, a mother and a doe on there. But anyway, it was super, super cute. Of course, it reminded me of Bambi. Kind of sad, kind of happy, but beautiful nonetheless. I like the background to it. So of course, all I did here, now this one was so simple, guys, like you could do this in your sleep. Like there was no special technique here at all. All I did was took some more of that greenery. I added a little bit of white paint to those stems there that you see, and I cut off some berries, and I just literally put them on there. And I had a bow, some bows that I got from Walmart like forever ago. I don't even remember when. But it was a white bow, and I just added that in there, and look already, you guys, like you would never even know that it had a chip on there, and it was just gorgeous. Like this was so pretty, and I am going to put it on a little stand. Again, you guys will see that at the end. I also added in Merry Christmas here because I feel like it did need some more color, of course, like red or something. So I just wanted to tie the Merry Christmas in here and match that to the red berries, and there you go. Like you would think this plate came like this. And now also with this, just to make sure it's not going to come off, I don't think it will, but you can always add some Mod Podge there. So next up, guys, here's another one I think is my favorite too. Oh my gosh, so I had to do a mason jar, right? So I think this might be my little niche. I don't know, y'all. But I love mason jars, okay? So this one is gonna be, what do we think about when we think about Christmas? And this is more for the kids. We know the true meaning of Christmas, but our babies, they believe in Santa Claus, until a certain age. So I thought, why not do some milk and cookies and carrots for milk and cookies for Santa, and some carrots for Rudolph. So we're going to be doing a milk and cookies themed mason jar. So all I'm doing here is the basics, just taped it off. I'm going to do the black and white, and then on the lid, I didn't want the whole lid to be covered. I wanted to make it look like the milk was coming all the way up in like one of those old-time or old-fashioned jugs, if that makes sense. I don't know, or jars. And so I wanted to look like the milk was all the way filled to the top. And so that's all I'm doing here, just to create that illusion, to make it look like the bottle is open or the jar is open. And I'm just going to fill that in with white, and pretty much like that's the basis of it. I am going to go in and do some light distressing just to give it a shadow effect. And guys, like this, I am not an artist at all, okay, just so y'all know, but this is so easy to do, and this is why I love working with mason jars, because you can really give that illusion of any type of liquid being in there. So super easy to do. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and that's what I love about it. Like, it does not have to be perfect. So for the cookie, I'm going to do chocolate chip, if you haven't guessed it already. So I'm taking one of the larger wood rounds from Dollar Tree, and I just went in with some of that burnt umber, and I think I did like like light honey, the color light honey here. And that's it. That's really all I did. I didn't try to get the circles perfect. I did want some of the paint to be missing, you know, just so you could see a little bit of that honey color coming through. And then all I'm going to put on here, I did a stencil from my Cricut Joy, and it just says milk and cookies for Santa on it now. And here's where I'm just going in with some of that steel color, and I believe that is by Happy Hobby. And you really can use any shade of gray like to do this. I was going to use the black, but I thought it may be a little bit too dark because again, I just wanted a shadow effect. And so I'm just going in with the color steel to do that. And literally that's it. I just want to get that color on there, and it goes on so nicely. And even right here, I was like, I really like the way this jar came out. Again, I'm obsessed with mason jars. I am. It's a sickness, I guess. I don't know. But nonetheless, they always deliver. I think like they're so versatile. Like you can just always do something with them, you know. And here, I could have omitted that part at the bottom of creating the jar, making it look like the bottom of the jar was like that, because the cookie is actually going to cover it. And when I put the little thing for Rudolph, it's going to cover it as well. But nonetheless, you know, it was easy to do. Is my main point here. So I just go ahead and attach the saying of, you know, milk and cookies for Santa, and I'm going to go in with I think this is crimson red. It's either crimson or imperial. I think it's crimson, and it's a beautiful shade of red. It's by Waverly, and it's their chalk paint, of course. And I'm just dabbing it on. I'm not giving it any brush strokes just because I don't want any bleeding, and I was too lazy to go over with white before putting them red. So, and usually with the stencil, you know, that I use with my Cricut Joy, it's pretty secure, but it does have some bleeding sometimes. So while that's all drying, and right there I just did a real dum-dum because I laid it down while it was still wet, and I thought it got on the cookie, but it didn't. So I was like, oh, thank you. So I'm just adding some of the little bitty miniature blocks from Dollar Tree on the back just to support it. But when I do add the cookie to it, it's going to have some support there also. So it wasn't really necessary, but I still feel like I probably should have put it on there anyway. So nonetheless, it was just 2 little cubes. It, you know, doesn't change the world. So here for the just to have something around the base, not the base, or the neck of the jar, I wanted to do a play on Santa's colors, which is the red, white, and black, right? So I had this ruffle yarn. I forget where I picked it up from. I want to say I got it from Walmart for like $1. And then I had this super furry, snowy looking ribbon that I got from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby some years ago. And I'm going to go in with some of that black and white stitch ribbon that I used on the snowman's hat. And that's going to tie in as the belt. And you guys will see that coming up in just a few seconds here. So I was really pleased with this. I thought it was super cute. And I had that little silver, I think it was either supposed to be like a button or something, a little charm. And I used that for the belt buckle. So cute. So once everything is dry, I go in, I do the weeding, I add the belt, the cookie, and I just use one of the little planks from Dollar Tree to use as the base. That's why I was saying I probably didn't even need to use the little cubes, but I think it did still add a little bit of support because I did end up, you know, kind of putting it in the slit between the little wood plank. But nonetheless, so for Rudolph's carrots, I have these little baking paper thingies. I don't know what they're called. I got them from Daiso, but you can do your little baked goods in there. And so I just used that as the basis to hold the carrot. And on there, I did put, you know, Rudolph's carrots. That's really all I did. And then I took one of the wooden dowels from Dollar Tree and did some red and white stripes on them. And here it is, you guys. Like, tell me that's not cute. I did add some more carrots to it. You guys will see that at the end. But I was like, oh my goodness, this is my favorite too. So I just had like a whole bunch of favorites, guys. And here's everything all together. And if you guys stuck around, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I so appreciate you all. This is where I went and added the crosses just because I felt like it really needed it. And not really needed, but I just thought it would add something to it. Again, it's not 100% Christmassy, but I do feel like it's something you can use for Christmas. as well as fall. And I just love the way, I love everything about this, the color contrast, everything. Here it is with the lights down. I did put some lights behind it. You can always add lights, the twinkle lights in it, but this is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. My camera does not do it any justice. And there is my little snowman. He is so cute. I just adore him. I still can't believe that I pulled it off, you guys. And the plate as well. I do have a few more of those. I think I'm going to throw in the mix for Christmas later on down the year, but I had so much fun with this. I think this, like I said, was probably my favorite just because I did not think I could pull it off, and I can totally see a snowman here. Like it was good. I like it. I hope you guys liked it too. I hope you guys try and recreate it. That would be super cool, and let me know about it. And the plate, like I said, was just darling. Now the milk and cookies and the little carrots for Rudolph. How cute is that? And I did toss in, I took one of the little wood squares from Dollar Tree, and I turned it into a present just because it had a little bit of a negative space there. I felt like it needed some filler. And then the little shadow box, you guys. That is just so cute. I wish I had like the whole manger scene miniatures. I think that would look so cute in there as well. But I think it still, caught the vibe I was going for. And I wasn't disappointed at all. And now that I see it, you are able to see it a little bit better. That the Mod Podge did dry. But yeah, I wasn't too disappointed with this. I have to be completely honest. The bow was so darling. And if you guys, like I said, you're still here, I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Please let me know if you have a favorite. And if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting. Just know that those comments are only desired and not required, lovies. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for checking out my channel. And as I always like to say, fall in love every day. Every day we have an opportunity to open our eyes. Is an opportunity for us to find at least one something to fall in love with that day. So with all that being said, lovies, until the next time, be safe, be kind, and happy crafting the days away. See you all in the next video. Bye.